All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another Grimdark Future Skirmish Firefight. This one will have, as usual, two teams, but we will be doing objectives, three markers that each team needs to capture. We will work our way up to 4 rounds as usual. The teams participating in this combat will be a modern army versus four alien bots played by the usual Battletech minis. Remember, typical disclaimer, I have Battletech minis on here, but they are being used model agnostic for Grim Dark Future. Okay, let's go to the board. So, the modern army will be the blue team. They have a few units here. We have one unit in the back. They are 6 grenadiers. And then we have a unit of 7 gunners or riflemen. We have a heavy tank right here and a light tank right here. These alien bots right here are going to be the red team on the lower part of the screen. They are all the same regarding the stats. Here are the stats. So the Grenadiers, they have quality of 5, defense 5. They have a grenade, armor piercing 1, and a pistol. Riflemen, 5, 5. They have a rifle, attack twice, 2 attacks. And then we have the heavy tank, 4, 4, 6, so 4 quality, 4 defense, 6 toughness. They have a cannon with armor piercing 1 and a machine gun. Then there's a light tank with 5 quality, 4 defense, 3 toughness. Cannon with a same cannon as the heavy tank, armor piercing 1 and a machine gun. So same assortment of weapons, just a little different in stats. Now, the alien bots, they're all the same, all 4 of these, despite them being different models. But just to keep it simple, they all have the same stats of 4 quality, 3 defense, and 6 toughness. So they are tougher, but hopefully it's balanced out with the amount of modern army compared to these 4 giants here. Now, I'm debating whether or not to raise the toughness a little bit because of the amount of firepower that the army has. So let's bump that up to 10, just to be a little fair. So we'll bump it up to 10. They've got lasers, armor piercing 1, and blasters, attack 2. So that is the teams involved. I'll keep that stuff over here up the screen. And we have the 3 markers on our stage here, on our field. We have one here, and one here. They need to capture these objectives. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to roll out to see who goes first, who does the first activation. And I'm going to roll right here on the bottom of the screen so you guys can see it. I may at times roll on the field depending on how crowded it is, but if I don't, you'll see it down here in this empty tray. All right, let's begin the first round. Round 1 with our first roll, blue, red. This is going to be the start, and it's even, so I'm going to roll again. We have to have that's another even roll. Okay, well, okay, blue team gets it on the 3rd try. I'll keep that in mind. So I'll put this over here on the blue side, letting me know who goes first. Now, because there are slight discrepancies in size, the infantry, obviously they are smaller, both the gunners and the grenadiers. And the mechs are about the same size as the tanks, or at least realistically in world size. They are about, I'd say, perhaps the same size. Now, alien bots can be of any size, really, in fiction, but I'm going to say that these guys here, the alien bots, can move up to 6 inches. The tanks can move up to 6 inches. Now, the infantry, I'm going to limit them to 3 inches because, again, the size difference. Okay, let's move the tanks first. So we have these 3 objectives that we need to capture. We need to seize. I'm going to move the light tank first. He is obviously going to go on the side here. So let's see how far he can go here. 6 inches right there. Okay, and that's really all he can do. There is no one in range to fire at. 12 inches for everyone, basically, FYI. I didn't give really much range stats, but because the field is small compared to typical war game tabletops, I'm going to limit everyone to 12 inches for distance. Okay, so he advanced, that's all he can do, or he moved. Now we move on to our alien bots. Well, this one is going to move here towards that objective. Now, can he fire? He certainly can. Let's just turn him a bit. Facing doesn't really matter, but I want to make it look convincing for you guys. So his stats, he will use blasters. Actually, no, he will use lasers. It's a tank. So armor piercing for the save of the tank will be increased. That's a penalty. So this alien bot is a uh, red team member, so he gets to roll one attack for the blasters. And we're going to roll now for the attack. And he rolled a 6, if you guys can see it, which is a hit. So basically, a 6 with armor piercing, that's a heck of a hit. Now, the tank is going to roll the save. And the tank save, that's a light tank, so it needs to roll a 4 by default, but 5 because of the armor piercing. And 3 is a failure. So we get our first wound for today, for this video. That's going to be 1 wound. Now, the tank has a toughness of 3, so once it gets up to 3, he doesn't require any wound effects. Okay, so this bot has went. And now back to the blue team, the army. Let's move the big tank, the large tank, at this objective here. So let's grab our ruler, and I'd say he's going to move right up to this line, like so. So he's just there. Now, I think in the game rules, or at least at the moment, I'm going to allow him to capture. He's within 3 inches. So let's flip this over, signaling it's been captured. So we'll tally up the points at the end of the round to see how many have been seized or contested. The tank is in really no range to fire at anybody. Nope, you can't. And aside from this big rock in the way. So that's all that tank can do. But he did indeed capture or seized a objective, so that's good. Now back to our alien bots. Let's move the one here. He's going to rush the one. Let's see, where does he end up here? He's going to go after that objective, and he's just enough to capture it. So can he fire? He probably can. He and sure can actually. Now there is this little stone in the way, but it's about a knee height. A knee height. I'd say you probably look over it. I'm gonna implement a penalty for that. So a -1 on the roll, or at least increase his required target. Now the bots obviously have an attack, a quality of 4, so I'm going to increase that to 5 because of that little thing in the way. Now it's a tank, so he wants to use his laser, which is armor piercing of 1. So we're going for a 5, and he gets the 5. Now how about for the save? Armor piercing for that heavy tank is 4, the defense roll, but because of the armor piercing, it's a 5. And he fails. So the tank also gets his first wound for this match. So let's put that right there. Okay, so that's all this bot can do. Now we have our units in the back here. They're waiting their turn patiently. Let's obviously move the riflemen. I think they're going to go for the center. So that's going to be this little crosshair here. I'll move each one. Now, these little riflemen are vintage. Picked them up from a collectible store a few weeks ago. The pack included both of these. And actually, there's a there's a mirrored collection of the, but in blue. So I wanted to include this blue guy here to balance out the amount of minis. So they moved there. Now they're well within range to shoot with my house rule, and actually they're well within 6 inches to shoot, probably just up to the base of that bot. So these riflemen, they have a attack of 2 with their rifle, and there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 12 dice to roll that they're going to fire at that single bot. So 2, 4, 6, we have 8 and 10, 12 dice. So I'm definitely going to use a tray for this one. And let's roll for it. Hopefully you guys can see it. We're doing 12 dice, and we need to hit a 5. All right, that feels like a Warhammer roll right there. So let's take out the ones that failed. Looks like it's a mix of goods and bads. This one failed. Okay, so we have a total of, looks like 5, 6, 7 hits. So 7 we're able to hit. All right, so 7. And now we need 7 saves, 7 defense rolls of that bot, and that bot has an armor of 3, a defense of 3, my apologies, which is very impressive. So I'm going to do 4, 6, 7 dice. Let's see if he can save. He needs to get again a 3, and he got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 saves. So that means he takes a total of 3 wounds. Okay, good thing I increased their wound count, their toughness. So he has 3 wounds. Perfect. That worked out pretty well. Okay, I'll give them the little green indicator that they moved. Now back to our bots. Let's move this guy. Let's move him here so he can go help out his colleague. He'll move up to this tree here and open fire at, well, he has a couple of options. I'd say he's going to go for the rifleman. Okay, the riflemen are going to be the target for this one here. Now, the alien bot has blasters. I think that they're going to be used to focus on infantry because they're not armored. So we're going to roll 2 dice for their attack. That's his perk, his special roll, or at least a mod for the weapon itself. And we need to roll a 4 or more. And he got 1 through, so we need to do 1 save for the infantry. That's a save. The infantry, the riflemen have a save of 5, so that blast kind of scurries or hits the tree or something, catches fire. So this bot has went, and now we're back to our riflemen, or I should say the grenadiers. Now let's move these guys just up to the stone. Now grenadiers, they've got grenades, and we're gonna put them up here like so. And I think that's a good spot. Now, can they fire at anybody? They certainly can, but there is a problem. Now, house rule, I'm going to let the entire unit fire with only one being, or a few of them being in sight. 12 barely able to attack this one. So I don't know. We can house rule to say the entire unit can fire or only the ones in line of sight. So it looks like those 3, at least the bottom 2 can fire. So spur of the moment, I'm going to say only 3 can attack. So 3 grenadiers are going to fire, going to throw their grenades at this alien bot here, which means that will be a roll of, let's see, 5 up with 2 grenades. Let's just say 3 grenades. Okay, so here we go. I'll just roll it here on the stage. And they needed a 5, so none of them go through, so it's a little too far. Okay, so they did what they could. The grenades were tossed, but did not reach the target. Now, the last mini for this round, it will be this guy here in the back. He's going to move up right here. Now, can he? Oh, he can easily fire. Let's have him shoot the light tank, which is, again, the smaller tank of the 2. Light tank, heavy tank, those are references to the old Command and Conquer games back in the 90s, FYI. So the alien bot is going to use his laser because I'm armor piercing. We're doing one roll here. He needs a four or more, and there's the four that we requested. And so we need a save from the tank. Now the light tank is four, armor piercing is going to be a five total. That's off screen, and it's going to be the skull, which is a fail. So the tank takes another wound, but he doesn't. He's safe. He does not need to do a wounds roll. And that is it for round one. That was actually excellent. Went very well. I do like the variety of minis here. We have tanks, we have futuristic aliens, or bots, I should say, and some infantry. So definitely entertaining in my opinion. So now let's move on to round two. Before we begin round two, I forgot to do something that's very important and tally up the totals. We have a problem here. So this one's contested. These two are contested, but this one is actually, sorry, yeah, this one is contested, but this one's captured. So that means the blue team gets their first point. They are in the lead. These other two are neutral at the moment. This one's being contested because we have two teams within the range. This one down here is not captured just yet. So 1 point for the blue team. No figures have been lost yet. No one has been destroyed. So all the tokens have been removed. And now we begin round two. We'll do a roll off to see who goes first. I'll do it over here in the corner of the screen. Blue team goes first. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to have this tank um, just go up here, and he will park next to the stone and attack one of these bots he's looking at. He'll fire at this one here, and that will be the light tank with cannon, which is armor piercing one. So we need a five or more. That is a fail, unfortunately. Okay, so he has done what he could. I'm going to put this token next to his wound count. Now, let's go to the red team here. This bot is going to obviously go into range and contest this token, this objective. So forgot to flip it earlier, but technically it's back to neutral. So I'm just going to fire straight at the tank, up close and personal. He's going to use his blasters though, because he's so close. So we have two, and we need one. Let's use the red dice. We need a roll of four or more. One got through, so one hit. We need one save. The light tank with the armor piercing, it's going to be five or more. That's a save. So the tank got pretty lucky there, being shot at by a futuristic giant mech from a Del Toro movie. Now let's now go back to our infantry. I'm sorry, our modern army, the blue team. This guy is going to move here and fire at the biggest of the two here. And the large tank, the heavy tank, has a cannon armor piercing one, so we need a four or more to hit. That's a hit. And a save for the bot is going to be a four because of that armor piercing. That is a save. So the shot did not have any effect. Okay, back to our bots. Now the bot is going to challenge, do the same thing that this guy did down here, and enter the range to contest this base, that marker. Now, he's close. He's going to use his blasters like the other one did. So four more for the roll. They both hit. We need two saves for that large tank armor piercing considered, so he needs a roll of five or more. And one goes through. So that means the tank takes a second wound for today. There we go. Take this dice off the tray, off the field. And that bot has done everything he could with some effect. Now back to our humans. Okay, so I think the infantry are getting desperate. They're going to be, let's surround this marker. I'll have to jump over I'll have to jump over the little divider there. Okay, so now they're going to fire at the same mech here. Okay, 6 rolls of riflemen, so it's going to be 6 dice times 2. Let's do that, and that will be a quality of 5. So I have 6 dice. I'm going to get another 6, 2, 4, 6. And now we're rolling this tray here. Let's see. They have riflemen of 5. So 1, 2. That's it. Out of all those dice, only 2 go through. So 2 saves required. No AP. So we need 3 or more. Oh, loose dice. Oh, wow. Those both of them go through. So this mech here goes up to 5 damage, 5 wounds. Now that means, and let's put our marker, these guys have done their activation. That means the alien bot is 5 away from wound effects. Okay. Now back to the mechs here. This one, it will pop out of the corner and surprise, like so. Let's move him over here, and he will fire at the riflemen. They are in clear sights. There's uh, no modifiers required. This will be a roll of, let's get my dice back on the spray here. That doesn't count. Let's roll for the bot. He will use the blasters on these little riflemen, these puny humans, and that will be an attack of 2 dice with a 4 or more. Looks like 1 goes through and 1 save. The rifleman needs a save of 5. Oh, we lose our first mini for today. Okay, so I'll put this in the graveyard off camera. Okay, so there goes the first one. Excuse me, one moment. Okay, my apologies, I'm still recovering. So this bot will get a activation token, and now we return back to our humans. He's gone. This guy's gone. These guys have gone. Now we have the grenaders. So they're going to do their part, not exactly capture a objective, but just make some damage. So let's move them up a little bit. They're going to move up to here. Not too much, just a couple of inches, but in their eyes, it's about what, 10, 15 yards. So they're going to clearly fire at this mech right here, and that's going to be grenaders have the armor piercing. So we have uh, 6 dice for this roll, and we're going to be doing quality of 5. So let's roll it in a tray. 5, only 1 goes through, so 1 save required for this tech here, this bot. He will have a 3 or more, but it's armor piercing, so it's a 4. Oh, he's good to go. The grenades just bounce off with some kind of force field that pops up. So Deus Ex Machina just happens to be there. And that's all for these guys here. So we'll give them their token. The last one to move in this game is going to be this guy. And he is, again, he's wounded, but he's not in the wound range. So he's going to get a little closer and use his blasters on the rifleman. So let's roll for that. The blasters have 2 attacks, so he needs 4 or more. That's going to be 1 hit, and we need 1 save. The riflemen are going to need 5. That's a fail. So another one. Let's remove the blue guy. That's another one who gets, as expected, their rifleman gets a bot. So yeah, I'm going to move him just here because it's slightly confusing me as far as who's the party or who's unit, who's on it. There we go. Okay, now that is it for round 2. Everyone has went. Just double checking my work here. So, and in terms of who captured what, nothing. Everything is contested. We have these kind of focused fights with the grenadiers here off to the side doing what they can, tank against that mech here. These riflemen have been putting up a good fight against these 2 guys here. The grenadiers have been kind of on the sidelines, firing, throwing grenades what they can. And we have this kind of a little quiet, this little fight going on in the corner. So no points, but blue is still technically in the lead. I don't think 4 rounds is going to be enough for anyone. So let's move on to round 3. Okay, round 3 begins. We're going to do our opening roll as usual, see who goes first. Blue team again. They are just the lucky ones here. Okay, it's always blue. In most of my videos, it's typically almost always blue. Well, Where to go, what to do first? Let's focus on the top corner here. So the tank is going to back up and fire at the mech that's right in front of his position. So this will be a large tank firing at 5 up with the cannon armor piercing of 1. Okay, let's roll for it. We need 4 or more. That's going to be a hit. And armor piercing, so the bot will defend with a 4 up. That's a fail, so he takes his first wound, which is barely anything with that 10 count. I'm wondering if I should actually bump it down for the mechs, but too late now. Okay, so the tank has done what he could. Let's go back to the bots. The bot is going to go get closer and fire at the tank, retaliate, return fire, and this will be, let's do the blasters, which are 2 dice, so he needs 4 up. 1 goes through, save for the tank, heavy tank, 4 up. That's a fail, so the tank gets his 3rd wound. Now, let me take a look at how many he can take before a check. 6, so he's safe. You guys are pretty tough. Okay, good. This guy has gone. Oops, like so. Now let's shift our focus down here to the middle. Let's focus on the riflemen. They're going to fire at this tank. They will hold the position and fire at this mech. Sorry. There's 4 of them. These are riflemen. They have attack of 2, so that's 8 total dice. Okay. We'll roll it here on the bottom of the screen. So we're looking for 5 or more. 5 up. 1 went through. Okay, so 1 save required. No armor piercing. The bot has a save of 3. There's the save. Okay, so they did what they could, like that, and I almost took the wrong dice. Okay, let's focus now on that same bot I was just talking about. He's gonna go like here a little bit and fire at the fire at the infantry, the riflemen. This will be his blasters, which is 2 dice. We need 4 up. 1 goes through. Let's see if the rifleman can avoid with a save of 5. That's a fail, so another rifleman falls. It's only been the riflemen so far. They are getting the most action. Okay, so they have gone. Back to the grenaders. They're going to shift up a bit here. Let's pack them up a bit. Move them over, like so. Okay. Now, basically, I'm going to try something a little different here. I keep forgetting, I think in one-page rules, in most games, you can fire twice, up to 2 times. Now, I want to make sure that's right. And so what I'm going to do is make this interesting. We're going to have 3 of them fire at this guy, and then the other 3 fire at this guy. So we're going to split up the targets. So let's first focus on this tech here, this mech. So let's roll 3 dice, 3 grenades. Remember, armor piercing as usual, with 5 up to him. 1 goes through. 1 save required. Armor piercing, so it's going to be 4 up. That's safe, so he's good to go. Now let's focus on this guy here with the 3 others. We need 5 up. None of them go through. Okay, maybe I should roll them more. All right, but anyways, the grenadiers have done what they could. Now, retaliatory, retaliate. This one will turn here, walk closer to the base, to the token, and fire at the grenadiers to retaliate. Return fire, and this will be the blasters, which is 2 dice, so 4 up. None of them go through. Those just fly right over their heads, maybe hitting their base in the corner there. So he has gone, or they have gone. Now let's focus down here to this little quiet fight going on. The tank is going to back up a bit and fire at the mech. This will be the light tank, so he has a 5 up with his cannon armor piercing. That's going to be a fail. Okay, the mech is going to walk over there and fire back at the tank to retaliate. And this will be the blasters with 4 up. Oh, wrong dice. Let me use the red dice. Okay. Oh, okay, 1 goes through. We need 1 save. The tank, armor piercing. No, no armor piercing for this one. Light tank is 4 up. Oh my gosh, look at that roll. Okay, even. So no damage taken from the tank. All right, looking over our moves here. Everyone has gone. Looks like. Yep, that's it for round 3. Every objective is contested. Blue team still holds the lead with the original one from the round 1. Okay, now we begin our final round 4. Let's roll off to see who goes first. Oh, blue team again. I swear. All right. Blue team goes first. So let's focus now down here, back in this corner. This tank will fire at the giant alien bot in front of him. This will be the light tank. So he has this cannon for 5 up. That is a fail, the skull. So that did not go through. Okay, that's unfortunate. Now, the mech, he'll fire. I'm gonna put him here actually. Fire back at the tank. He's kind of sidestepping back and forth. And he'll use his blasters, 2 dice with 4 up. They both go through. We need 2 saves for the tank. Light tank is a 4 up, and 1 goes through. So he has 3 wounds now, which means the tank is required to do our first wound roll. We need 6 or more. It means that the tank is gone and he explodes. He's destroyed. So here it is, +3 on this roll. That's a goner. Okay, so tank is gone. Now that was exciting. And so is his wound counter. And we'll give the activation token to him. So that means this is contested. This is now captured temporarily by the bot. Could be a tie, actually. So the bot moved now back to blue. Okay, well, the Grenaders have to contest this base. Can they go around? Oh, you know what? I completely caught myself here. I've been moving them 6 inches, and early in the game I said they only moved 3 inches. That's unfortunate. I I caught myself, luckily I caught myself at a pivotal moment where these guys could just move on casually to contest this base, and they're giving the red team um, taking away that chance to capture this base, this marker. So they're going to, gosh, I mean, what can they do? They can go. I think they're going to basically run here as close as they can, but still, again, I'm not. They can't capture. They can't contest this marker here, but at least get in range to fire at this tech here. So yeah, let's have them throw grenades, 6 grenades at this mech here, who is again has no wounds. This will be 6 grenades and 5 up. Grenades have mark piercing of 1. So we have 5 up. So we have 1, 2, 3 hits. So we need 3 saves from the tech, from the mech, and it's gonna be 4 total, 4 up. None of them goes through, so he takes a whopping 3 wounds. He's fine though. He has 10 at most he can take, but that was definitely a decent hit from the blue team. Okay, now back to the bots. Let's give them the marker here. They've gone. Let's move our way up the map here, going north. This one is going to ignore the grenaders and fire from the back here at the 3 remaining riflemen. So using the bots, blasters, 2 dice, rolling for 4 up. That's a fail. All right. Okay, back to the let's go back to the humans. The riflemen are obviously surrounded. They're going to fire at both of these guys. So I think it's a rule in the game. You can fire up to 2 targets. I remember hearing about that in a tutorial video a while ago. But shooting, here we go. May fire up to 2 different targets with different weapon types. So different weapon types. They only have 1 weapon. I'm going to let them fire. I'm going to let them fire twice with the same weapon. So both of these guys with both riflemen, both bots from both riflemen. So roll 3 dice. Let's do this guy first. Okay, they need 5 up. Oh, that's right. The riflemen have 2 attacks, so 6 total dice. Okay, 5 up, 3 total goes through. Okay, we need 3 saves for this guy here. Let's see what happens. That's going to be a 3 up. Oh, he's good. Okay, let's roll for the next one. This one here, who has 5 wounds. Okay, 5 up. One goes through, which is not impressive at all, but 1 save. The bot has 3 up. Oh, he made it. Okay, so the bots are good. Again, that was a valiant effort, but fortunately did not work out too well. Okay, so this bot here will retaliate. He'll move over closer to his ally there and fire at with his blasters, and that will be 2 dice. Blasters have a 2 and 4 up. Both hits. So we need 2 saves from the infantry, from the riflemen. They have 3 people left, and they need a save of 5 up. Oh, down to our last infantry. They're just dropping like flies. Okay, there we go. So that bot has gone, and now we move our focus up to here. This tank will continue firing. Not much he can, not more, can't really go anywhere. Doesn't want to leave the contested objective there. So he will fire. This will last 2 pieces of our game here. So we know it's a tie, but I'm going to finish the video anyways. So the tank will fire. Looking at it now, I should have given the machine guns 2 attacks. So here's what I'm going to do, just for future reference for myself. I'm going to give them 2 attacks. Doesn't matter now, but uh, just to give it a little kind of a balancing act between fairness, I'm going to let them fire twice. So he's going to fire twice with a heavy tank 4 up machine guns. One hits, which means 1 save with the bot, and his save is 3 up. He's fine. Okay, so the tank is gone, and the bot is going to retaliate and fire at the tank. Now, tank is at 3. He can take up to 6. I probably should have lowered the toughness across the board now that I'm looking at it. But again, these are all experimental. Like I can learn from past mistakes or learn, just make adjustments as we go. So, anyways, the bot's going to fire at the tank there. He's going to use his blasters. There's 2 of them, and it's 4 up. Wrong dice, red dice. One hits. Saving throw or defense roll. Tank. The large tank, heavy tank is 4 up. That's a save. Okay. Well, double check my work, make sure everyone has gone, and they have. So I'm actually surprised one rifleman survived. But doing our count, you would do a morale check for the rifleman, but at this point it doesn't matter. It's the last round. He'll most likely get removed. Um, yeah, so the red team scores their first point here, which means it's a tie. Now, we can do another round, but I feel like this has gone on a good amount of time, 40 minutes, which is above the usual time I take to make these videos, about a half an hour on average, I think. But I'd say that worked out very well. And the variety of models we had here made it far more entertaining than usual, at least in my eyes. So, um, hope you guys enjoyed. That was quite eventful, in my opinion. I hope you liked it. With the Army, modern Army, and despite the figures being from World War II, and against these typical, my usual BattleTech mechs. So next time, if I do this, I can probably give the BattleTech minis more stats. Maybe give them at least 2 more or 4 total different stat lines, and probably have lowered the toughness across the board, so we can probably have seen more casualties. But still, I felt like this was definitely one of my favorite matches in recent weeks. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.